So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
Hey everyone, and welcome to A Plus Wrestling here on KPHR Hamilton and on YouTube.com at Hutch Henry's. It has been a busy week, but I feel like we say that constantly here on A Plus Wrestling, but I really do feel like this summer has been not the busiest that we've ever seen, but busier than normal. We are your hosts. I am Boris Roberto Aguilar, and as always, I am joined by Hutch Henry's. Hutch, how goes?
Goes pretty good. Yeah, it's been busy. It's a good summer. Yeah, like I wonder what are we gonna do with SummerSlam once Brock Lesnar's gone? He's Mr. SummerSlam, right? So like this is gonna be the year where we gotta like lean into the Les.
Lean the Les.
Yeah,
lean
we do some Les leaning. We do some gargles. We do all the stuff around here.
That's exactly what we do here on A Plus Wrestling, on KPHR Hamilton, and on YouTube.com at Hutch Henry's. Man, it has been like there's a lot of news coming out, so we're going to talk some news. We're going to talk some newly free agents out in the market. We're going to go through the timeline of the week that was and the week that will be, and we're going to end things off with a little bit AEW Redemption. I guess we have to, even though that pay-per-view makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, we're recording here on a Thursday. We're not going live for the first time in a little while, but we're recording on a Thursday, which we don't usually do. So we could literally talk about what happened on AEW last night.
Exactly. Hey, and if the Thursday works, we can start going live on Thursdays.
We can start going live. Well, I mean, I have Lucha Libre Thursdays in the afternoon, and I do sometimes work. You know, sometimes the film industry wants
that's the issue. That's the issue. I always forget. But, we typically don't pick Thursdays because you do sometimes have stuff to do. What the
hell? If you hear any crashing, it's because one of the reasons I'm home is I got guys doing all new siding on the house. And I'm glad that I was here. Supervision is necessary because they're like, can we move all of this stuff? And I'm like, well, I will move all this stuff. I didn't know you needed access to this. So I'm glad that I'm here.
Thank you for that.
But yeah, any crashing here? That's what it's all about.
Beautiful weather here in Toronto that we're getting.
Yes, finally a little more manageable. Like it was either too wet, too hot, too smoky, and now it's just right. This porridge is just right, Boris porridge.
Yeah, Tuesday was humid as heck in the morning. I had to go to an appointment with my dad, and just opening the front door, just like holy shit, just like it hurt, made my chest hurt. With how humid it was. It was weird.
I don't got better once it rained. From Tuesday, but we have experienced it quite a bit lately. So yes, I know what you're talking about. Maybe it was Tuesday. Everything's going into a blur these days.
It really is. All right, let us jump into the week that was. Let's start with WWE SmackDown, Saturday night's main event, and some WWE Raw. Hutch. All right, let's start here. You know what? Let's start with this. Baron Corbin. He is the real deal. He says he is going out. He doesn't care for the new people. He wants to make a splash. What are you thinking is going to happen with Baron Corbin? And is it a good start?
I think it's a good start. But what I think is going to happen with Baron Corbin is he's going to ride out another contract and be nothing. I mean, if they stick with Lone Wolf, that's great. I always kind of enjoy like Happy Corbin.
I love that. I love the best of Corbin was the best.
Yeah, dude, there were so many good Corbins. Like Chris Jericho's trying so hard to like be able to retire and have the t-shirt with every single version of Jericho on it. But like Corbin's got that already. Didn't even mean to. He's like the Ed Leslie of like current generation. Which is why it would have been nice to see him add another one to the list. I was kind of looking forward to the Danhausen thing because like when you see Danhausen wrestle, he's got his cape and he's got his like tattoos across his chest and his face. I mean, if you take the shirt off of Bishop Dyer, which he's been wearing for a long ass time now, we all know the kind of tattoos he has. Granted, they're a little more like art mystique than like standard, you know, rockabilly style Ed Hardy style tattoos that Danhausen has, but he was still they're still in the same positions and places, and they're still really colorful. He could literally wear the exact same outfit, and he would have been great to come out as a clone, Baron Corbin. But I'm very happy for him. I'm sure he had like Undertaker Eggman feelings where he's like, oh man, I'm gonna be the Eggman. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay, so like he did not end up becoming the gobbledygooker. He is once again the lone wolf. And I don't think he's going to do too much. He's there. He's a body. They need some of these young guys to take somebody out, or they need somebody to like heel out on them, take their title, embarrass them. And so they have something to go towards, Trick Willie. These guys need a foil.
Okay, but that's my question. Okay, sorry for cutting you off because it
can't be Trick and Buddy and sorry, Carmelo. And they can't just be going at each other all the time, right? So they need some other people in there. They need some vets.
You also need someone established, but is Baron Corbin established enough to play that role?
Well, in WWE world, he is, because you just highlight the positives, right? He's former King of the Ring, former Money of the Bank winner, too, former U.S. Intercontinental Champion. Look at Trick Williams is in serious trouble now. The Lone Wolf gonna eat him alive. Like that's how they'll spin it until they can't anymore because he's had somebody else,
Exactly.
And then they give him a fedora and they call him like Gangsta Corbin or whatever they're gonna do with him.
Yeah. But that, like, I don't know. It just, I get it. On paper, this is exactly what you want. On paper, Baron Corbin is stylish enough.
And you know what? Like,
he's great.
I kind of felt bad. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, the reality is the fans, at the end of the day, are going to determine whether they buy it or not, and you never know with Baron Corbin.
Dude, you never know with wrestling. Look at Grande Americano. Yeah. If they give Baron Corbin a little bit of leeway, a little bit of rope, dude, watch him get over. Watch him be more over than anybody. Like, he probably has the ability. The guy's a boxer. The guy's an athlete. The guy's a cool dude.
Greek cook. Hilarious as fuck. If you ever watch his TikToks or whatever, he's great. And he's great on Busted Open, which we're going to talk about later.
Yes, funny enough, I have not seen him on Busted Open or his TikToks, but at Destiny, Chat at Destiny, he was just like, those guys where you can just tell this is the kind of guy who's like standing heart rate is like 42. Like he's going to live forever. Like he doesn't sweat shit. So, and like, not like me, like I'm type A personality neurotic. I'm probably going to drop dead at 30, like 65 of a heart attack for no reason other than I've used up my beats per minute. My bump card is gone, but this guy's good. Yeah, like Baron Corbin's cool dude, man. Whoever ends up being his child or his life partner or his partner in business or something, they probably got a good, calm-headed dude in their life. So yeah, I from the small amount of time we spoke, I really liked him.
Very cool, very cool. All right, let's talk about some Finn Balor. He beat the Tongas over the past few weeks.
Yeah, I think like Tala Tonga. Not looking as good as I thought in the ring. Don't like the outfit, and was hoping they might put him over more.
I thought they were going to change up his gear or his something, his look, his face paint when the MFT stuff ended, but they're the same.
Yeah, you got to give these guys a break, right? Like I'm trying to think of the movie where somebody complained about. He's like, dude, brother's half Samoan. Give him a break. Is it Pulp Fiction where he's like, bro, have you seen the size of the guy? And he's like, yeah, well, bro, brother's half Samoan. Give the guy a break. So we got to give him a break. The Jimmy Usos and the Talatongas that are wearing their shirts. But dude, imagine Talatonga cut with no gut and just looking killer. Like he would be scary. And I'm hoping that Big Bill shows up, Big Cass shows up in shape, looking good, and that they don't pull a big show with him because they're kind of pulling a big show with Talatonga right now, man.
Yeah.
Like he's losing to Finn Balor, which is we all want Finn Balor to go up a notch and feel like it's real. I mean, they can start booking him better, but do we believe it? He's lost a lot of credibility. He really needs to get vicious and get some serious wins that he fights back from. They can't just give him wins. He needs to go in there with somebody who would usually beat him and fight back from underneath and get the win. And then you're like, oh, and then he needs to do it again. And then you're like, oh, dude, Finn Balor's back. You know what I mean? That's how you get someone back on top. You don't just give them wins because then it seems manufactured. That was the Roman Reigns problem for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Great point. And I'm trying to think so Finn Balor's a face, apparently, because in WWE, I don't know who's a face. I don't know who's a heel. And it seems to switch from show to show. Who's a heel on SmackDown that can go up against Finn Balor?
Well, I guess your Tongas, right? But those are the guys that need to be getting over, right? You don't want them to be the MFT underlings, especially now that Solo's off doing more bloodline stuff. These guys need to somehow become tangible. They need a tag title win. They need something. And I'm afraid that they're going to just be there for 5-6 years and then be gone. and I think these guys deserve better. In fact, his whole like cutting off Finn Balor might be the wrong move. I mean, leaning into it when he was chatting with Shinsuke and they were having their thing, I thought it was going to be something cool, man. They were going to screw over the MFTs and he was going to like come out as like a baby face, maybe with like, I don't know. There's such baby face potential with Tama Tonga, but I can see how they see him as with the face paint and the Tongans and they see him that way. But yeah. It's almost like what I was just talking about with Finn Balor. Like the Japanese do it so well. Like you watch a young boy come up in all the opening tag matches in his black, and then he comes back and he's in the undercard, he's fighting guys. And before you know it, he's in the G1 and you've seen this kid so much, submit so many times, get beaten down so many times, like give veterans like every last shot that he can give them. And then he takes a knee to the face and goes down and he's like been fighting. And then you've seen him take 2 knees and kick out. And then slowly you've watched this kid build up. And when he loses to Shingo Takagi once, twice, and then the third time he beats him and you're just like, it's so valid. Like, you're just like, yeah, you know what I mean? And like, they just can't seem to do that in America. It doesn't come across the same way that the C2 is going to be like on weekly television, whereas the G1 is the G1 tour. And in the opening tag match, you've got Shingo against, Roihei Oiwa with their 2 young lions, or one guy's got like, Hanma with him, old man, and the other guy's got a young lion, and they're having their tag match. And, the young lion goes down to Hanma, and they point at each other across the ring. Tomorrow, I got you in Sendai, my next round. You watch that build. Like I have no interest, wasn't thinking about it, but now I cannot wait to go back and watch Yuta Ice against Konosuke Takeshita, because they had one of those tag matches, and like Takeshita gets in the ring, is doing his thing, and Yuta Ice is like waiting for him to turn around. He turns around, he's right there in his face, and they've never had a one-on-one. And Takeshita's former champ, signed to other contracts. Yuta Ice is like fresh off being a young lion, tag team champion, first G1. He's like in his face, and he just, man, they go at it. Like this thing gets thrown out after like 2 minutes, and Takeshita's like kind of taking it calmly at first, and then you see him kind of be like, oh yeah, and dude, they go at it. And now I cannot wait to see the singles match. And I'm pretty sure that Yuta Ice is going to give it his all and lose. And when you see him eventually beat Takeshita in like a year or 2 from now, or a next G1 or something, you're going to be like, oh yeah, long time coming. He's been waiting to get his revenge, and he finally got it. I mentioned Hanma quickly. Bro, look what they did with this dude. They literally had him lose and lose and lose and lose and lose. The guy couldn't even hit his finisher, was constantly missing his finisher. Then when he started to hit his finisher, the crowd like pops like crazy. Oh my God, he hit it. And then they had him go on a tag team run, win the tag titles. And like, you believe it. It's like a Barry Horowitz story where you're like, Horowitz wins again. Hey, Horowitz. Like, you believe it. And they have such trouble doing that in modern American wrestling, yet it's like easy in Japan. Like if we could just find a halfway point, then your Tama Tongas and your Finn Balors can get elevated through their strife. But it's just like there's such 50-50 booking and bullshit. Just it doesn't work in America, and it could. I think Tony Khan wants to, but he's finding the same issues probably.
Yeah, well, okay, it might work for your sicko or hardcore fan, but I have a feeling like at the end of the day, to be a successful company here. I'm not just talking about a wrestling company, I'm talking about a successful entertainment company. You need the casuals, and the casuals really don't buy into that.
Yeah. And Tony Khan's like, I like his booking. It's getting better, but it's still very weird. We can talk about that later. Let's finish our WWE run here, continue through SmackDown. But yeah, I'm hoping they can do more with Finn Balor and Tama Tonga. And yeah, I know Royce Keys, all this stuff. I don't know what they're doing over there, but I don't feel like anybody's really getting over. They're just there.
There's people who were over when they stepped foot into the main roster, your Trick Williams, your Obafemis, but they're not really getting anyone naturally over. There's no one right now that started like having a random match here and there, and then little by little, the crowd would jump behind them. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, like WWE's good at like they love to just cool people off. It's really weird. I mean, there was a time like even 3-4 months ago where you believe Jacob Fatu could have beat anybody on the roster to a big fucking surprise pop and like, oh my God, he could have beat anybody. Like when he was taking out Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, you were like, this guy could come in anywhere tomorrow and be the surprise guy to take a belt. And doesn't feel that way now. And who else is in that category? Braun Breaker.
Liv Morgan. Even Liv Morgan. Yes, she's champ, but they've cooled her off so much since WrestleMania.
Yeah, I feel like Liv's in a different category. She's still really hot. I still believe she could beat anybody they put her in the ring with and scrape and claw and like stick her freaking high heel in their eye. Like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I'm Liv Morgan. But she's had a lot of injuries over the last few years. I don't mind that they're giving her some time to just be a ringside manager. She deserves it. She's probably nursing something. And they just don't want to like let the public know because they've already lost Rhea. They've lost like a lot of people are going down to injuries. So,
yep. Let's talk about that. Rhea Ripley officially off of SummerSlam. We're going to get an interim women's champion in a ladder match, a 6-woman ladder match happening at SummerSlam. Last week, SmackDown introduced some qualifiers for that. And the first one, Tiffany Stratton defeated JC Jane. And the second one, Jade Cargill defeated Nia Jax via DQ, thanks to Charlotte.
Yeah, and like that's weird because you would think that Charlotte's going to take her on at SummerSlam, but that's obviously not going to happen now because she's going to be because the finals is at SummerSlam, right?
Yep, the ladder match is at SummerSlam.
Well, I wonder if Charlotte will somehow qualify for the ladder match, and then they'll have
Maybe.
it out in the match itself.
I can see that happening because I was reading right before we started recording that because of Rhea's injury, they waited it out to see, and they were still weighing their options. And apparently, a lot of the plans were changed, including a Jade Cargill versus Charlotte confrontation match at SummerSlam. There was a list of stuff that they had to change, obviously, creatively because of the injury.
So, let's move. Like, I don't know what else really happened on SmackDown, but this hour is going to get eaten up pretty quick before we know it. If we want to get into Saturday night's main event, a little bit lackluster. I like that they were focusing on Danhausen and New York. I mean, it's really amazing that what has happened with this guy. So good for him. But what do you think about the ending of that whole pay-per-view? I hope you don't mind that I skipped all the way to Saturday night from Friday night.
No, I was gonna jump in there. There was one thing after that we'll talk about from Saturday night's main event, but are you talking about the ending of the show, like the last segment with Roman?
No, I mean like the tag team match. Yeah, is what I mean. There was the ending with Roman just proves that he'll probably be the headliner of night 2 of SummerSlam. And you know, I'm not a huge basketball fan. I wasn't following that much this year. I've had a lot going on, but I'm also Canadian. It's not that far from New York, and I could not give a flying about these guys. So I can imagine like your UK guys or your international people are like, what is going on? And now they're going to bring Tom Brady in supposedly. Like, I get it. Netflix, America, money. It probably, if it wasn't making them money, they wouldn't be doing it. But
yeah,
I don't care about seeing Tom Brady wrestle.
Exactly.
You
know? The tag match. So, well, we're getting Nick Aldis and Gunther, right? Like that was the all final setup to that, which there we go. It's official.
Yeah, and I think that's what we expected, and it's nice. I guess it was nice that they gave us this match and then didn't make it a 4-way. Like, I don't know. Everybody complains all the time, but like when you're booking, you just got to think like, what do we want to do that's fun? And everybody expects Saturday night's main event to be like a pay-per-view, but it's not. Like if you go back and look through their archives, like they were just like, you know, this is when they had Wrestling Challenge and stuff. So you see Razor Ramon against Dwayne Gill and Jobber number 2 and whatnot. So Saturday night's main event was where it was, you know, Razor Ramon took on Owen Hart, you know, like, oh my God, these are two guys that take on jobbers every week. They're not taking on each other. So it was just like a show. So I never expect these shows to be anything more than just primetime TV fodder, you know?
Agreed. Now something I did want to bring up with this is the interaction between Punk and Cody. I'm digging it. I'm digging this interaction.
Yeah. I'd like to see a little bit more. We'll see if the teeth really come out. But yeah, it was good. It was good to see them starting to argue. And you know, like Punk is the way he is, right? He's got a forked tongue, so he can say good things, and he does it while being like overly arrogant and righteous. Like he's like that coworker that never takes accountability for anything. So you're just like, you can never get him to be like, all right, maybe you're right. He'll just always be like, well, no, I'm not really wrong, and you're like, oh, come on, dude, just say sorry, I'm wrong. You know, like he'll never say it. So he frustrates the hell out of you, even though you like him. And Cody, he's kind of like a whiner. He has like this view of what he is. And if he doesn't think other people return that, then he gets like whiny. So you've got like silver tongue against like righteously whiny, and like it could get really good.
Yep, agreed. I'm liking it. I'm kind of liking those small little things, like even the belt in Cody's face, like, and the reaction to that. It's the little things that they're doing so well in this quote unquote feud.
Yeah, man, it's like the highfalutin corporate version of, Morishima and Samoa Joe like accidentally bumping into each other. After you, after you.
I fucking
love. Yeah, fuck you, man. And I was like, okay, here we go.
I love that so much. Oh, yeah. It's so weird. I recently saw a video like showing that angle particularly. It was like, oh man, those were the days. All right,
those were the days, man. Poor ROH.
Those were the days, man. Yeah. Lyra Valkyria.
It was a product of its time. So like we're all like, oh, poor ROH, but you know
it's
what?
Like ECW.
Yeah. It was what it was. So yeah, we move on. I think you saw my short that I made on my Porsche the other day when I was outside.
Yes.
Okay, where I talked about Pierce.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it's a great idea, but I was literally listening to Simon Miller, and I just finished listening to some other podcast. Both guys were like, what are we gonna do with Sami Zayn? I was like, I don't know. This seems like it would be something. Like, why not? Both GMs are like on SummerSlam fighting dudes. Why not?
Yeah. I think it'd be good because right now, Sammy, we talked about this a few weeks ago. He's the odd man out. He's got nothing to do.
Yeah, and like he could literally be getting mad at Pierce. Pierce is now super busy. He's got SummerSlam 2 nights. He's taking care of both shows. He's stressed. And Sammy's like, hey, what about me? What about me? And he's like, listen, I don't care, but you've had your chance. I'm sorry. The thing's like, don't you brush me off. How dare you? And then they have their Gunther and Aldis moment. And the way I see it isn't like some people, it's not because of Sammy and it's not because of Pierce. It's literally the juxtaposition. Like the way, I don't know how much more of my book you read, but there's all kinds of like book ending and like people doing the same thing from different classes of life or different viewpoints. And then they like come together. So it's like, you've got Aldis is going to come out like looking probably amazing. You know what I mean? He's probably going to be like, everything like Adonis, like, oh, look at this freaking guy. And he's going to do his Aldis thing. We've all seen Magnus wrestle. So, and he's going to take on Gunther and be slightly outclassed and lose. And if Pierce goes right into like CZW ROH war type of Pierce, not Scrap Iron Adam Pierce, NWA champion, 7 stages of hell, whatever that was called, whatever they moved, like Colt Cabana time period, not that. Yeah. We're talking like ROH TV CZW time period with the cutoff shorts and like the wife beater and like the loose wife beater and the just like hardcore beating the crap out of people, going toe to toe with Necro Butcher. Like if that guy comes out, he can still get his ass beat by Sami Zayn, and Sammy like literally like treating him like shit, like just and win. Like roll him up, slip on a banana peel, and like, oh my God, he beat Sami Zayn. Adam Pierce just beat him for WWE champion. This is like, that's the story. All this getting his butt kicked. Pierce, who wasn't even planning to be part of any of this and wasn't even looking for revenge, got like railroaded into this match and comes out with a win. And now both guys, they can bring in a new GM too. There's all kinds of guys they can try with. Although I would love to see Pierce there forever.
Him and Aldis are great. Like this has been by far the best because they get involved but not involved, right? Like, I don't know how to describe it. You are listening to the week that was and the week that will be in pro wrestling here in KPHR Hamilton and on youtube.com at Hutch Henrys. We are currently talking about Saturday night's main event. Let's jump to Bayley. Is this the last time we see Bayley? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's going to happen. Like her losing to Lyra recently, all that stuff online, everybody's all like Bayley's leaving. But yeah, you know what? I do think she is leaving. I think Pamela wants to go hang out with her friend. I think AEW is the locker room where they're friends with people. Someone was talking the other day about, oh great, you're gonna get rid of this tag team, that tag. You're all excited about Motor City Machine Guns and New Day coming in, like WWE guys coming in to take over, even though but Sammy Guevara and Original is leaving. And at first I'm like, dude, Sammy Guevara, Motor City Machine Guns over Sammy Guevara like every day of the week. Sorry, pal. And if you think of them as ex-WWE guys, then I don't know how to help you in life. Okay, you obviously you don't have enough information. But if you want to say New Day is WWE guys, which they obviously are, like, bro, freaking Austin Creed has been buddies with the New Day or with the Bucks and these guys for years, and Hangman and Omega. And Kofi, I'm sure, knows them very well. And they've had their online like feuds and video game feuds and things. These guys are friends, the same way that bringing Bayley in is her going to hang out with her friends. It's not, oh, AEW keeps bringing in these WWE guys. They're going to turn away WWE guys they don't want. There's already been backlash. No, we don't want Sheamus here. And no, we don't want Aleister Black back here again, which, it's obviously Tony's decision in the end run. But I'm sure you've seen what I'm talking about. Like, Sheamus seemed to get poo-pawed immediately by AEW locker room, whereas somebody like Bayley, they're like, yeah, bring Pamela over here. Let's do it. So it's a different mentality. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes absolute sense.
So yes, I do think she's going over there. And I don't think it's like a fuck this place kind of thing. I think it's like, yeah, you know what? It's time for a change. I've never really been on a poster. Like, you guys don't see me as a sex symbol or a top draw. So I'm going to go over there and I'm going to shock the world, and AEW is so much less sex symbol. I mean, you got the Brawling Birds out there who are two freaking gorgeous, beautiful, sexy women, but that is not how WWE sees their women. They would see them as like stocky. They would never spotlight them that way. Bayley's going to go over there and be a superstar because they don't see her that way in WWE. Like, hope you know what I'm talking about. Like, they'll still tell you this is a visual business, right? Whereas AEW sees it as a work rate business. So
for now, it's going to be interesting to see where Bayley ends up. I think that she will make the jump for many reasons, right? The schedule will allow her to open up a school or continue the training that she wants to do, right? She did that yearly
seminar that she did, the all women's seminar,
where she flew everyone in and it was like great turnout and this and that. And I'm sure that that's the direction she wants her career, and the schedule will allow for that. She's going to be working with friends. And on the flip side of it, also, sometimes you need to test the water. Sometimes you need to get that spark back in you, but that doesn't mean like
what it did for Cody. I'm sure Dolph Ziggler wishes he did this a decade ago. There are guys who get cut loose and are very happy.
It doesn't mean that she's not coming back. Doesn't mean that the door's closed, right? Like, it's a business at the end of the day.
But also, Bayley, some people have a proclivity for communication and for teaching. And I think Bayley probably has a knack for it, probably gets, when you see results, when you try to be a teacher or you try to show someone something and you see the results and you see them responding, it's addictive. As someone who is sometimes in a position of authority at my work with people under me, and some of them don't know what the fuck's going on, A from B, and you start to teach them and you see this guy doesn't get it. This guy's having trouble. This guy's like, he's getting it easy. And it's not just because of him. Like, he's absorbing how you teach well. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else comes up and is like, hey, the way you showed that to me really worked out well. I've been having trouble with this for years. And you're like, well, here, let me show you this way. Think of it like this. And they're like, oh, wow, I never thought of it like that. And you watch them like get over this hurdle that they've been dealing with because of how you explained it to them. And man, that is an addictive feeling. So if she's getting that, she's going to want more of it.
Exactly. I think that's everything here on Saturday night's main event. Let us jump to Monday Night Raw. Obafemi. I want to talk about his promos, man. His promos, I love how short and to the point they are.
Yes, Obafemi is like a serious shock. I keep expecting him to LA Knight it and like maybe flub, but he doesn't. And LA Knight's Guy Smiley, right? It's all like, hey, blah, 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 blah. He's like coming at you and insulting you, but Obafemi's just telling you how it is. And that's just a fact of life. But you get my point. Yeah, I like it. I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm hoping the ball never the other foot doesn't shoot off, whatever. Yeah, I hope this happens, keeps going, because he's great. He gives me the feeling. Right? Like, once he gets out of the Brock Lesnar thing, it's going to be like, how the hell do you beat this guy?
Right?
Like when he comes for Seth Rollins, when he comes for Roman Reigns, when he comes for CM Punk, like what the hell is CM Punk going to do when he's all like looking up? He just had trouble taking out Cody Rhodes, and he's looking up at Obafemi now, like, yo. And hey, just before we move on, I suddenly thought, I've been thinking about that Adam Pearce thing. I made the short and said it off the cuff, and I haven't given the Sammy situation any thoughts since, because I was all like, oh yeah. But hey, if Sammy doesn't get on the card, him screwing over Punk somehow in the main event so that Cody wins, and now he's all like, how does it feel? How does it feel to be a champ for a week and a half, week or so? Like, I don't know. And then that could lead into a Punk Sammy thing. Like, he could screw over. And then Obafemi's coming for Cody right away. Before Cody can even say anything, he's like tapping on his shoulder. Hey, Punk's distracted. Hey. And then before you know it, Obafemi's champ. I don't know. There are a lot of possibilities. That's great.
There really are. And I hope that they take SummerSlam and give us a new direction. Not new direction, but just give us something new in the main event scene.
Yeah, man.
Right?
We'll see what happens. Like, there's been a lot of people that came up on their 90 days today, and they're going to be going to a lot of different places. Is there anybody that could be coming into WWE? Like, who could show up? Who's coming off the injury list? Like, what's going on with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens? And is there a new face to come in where you're like, oh my God, this guy, he's coming up.
Right. I don't know.
Who just left? I don't know.
Bro,
see what happens.
Mike Santana.
Yeah, I don't think Mike Santana is that big a deal, but I hope they do him well. And do they have Mike Santana, or do they have insert new name here?
No. They on social media they use Mike Santana like today.
Thank God, guys. That would what the hell's wrong with you people? Like,
it's copyright, right? It's all about money, my friend.
I guess so. But look at Joe Gacy, one of the 90-day people who's now he's on GCW. He's using the name Joe Sawyer. He used Joe Gacy on the indies his whole life, and WWE got the rights to it. So maybe WWE was like, listen, Mike, if you want to use Mike Santana, we have to have the copyright on it. So I'm hoping that 4 years from now, Santana's not cut loose and out on the indies as I used to know his real name because we used to bill him as that back in SEO. But yeah, I hope he's not out on the indies as Mike Santano, poor guy.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, throughout Monday night, they showed videos, the chapters, the telling a story, literally, about their history. Got some Dean Ambrose in there. I thought they were going to cut him up. I knew they were going to use him for the Money in the Bank cash-in, but outside of that, they used him. What did you think of all that?
What, the fact that they did a big history of the two guys?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect any less, but we all know
we get less, a lot more in WWE.
Yeah, but these are they love these two guys. They love this whole story. It's freaking one of the things they can't stop leaning on. It's weird when they find success with something, they just can't seem to stop flating themselves about it. My God, yeah, okay, the Shield was okay. F off. So yeah, I'm not surprised that they did this. I'm not surprised they're trying to make it a bigger deal than it is, because that's what WWE does. But this, as far as I'm concerned, this whole thing is so that Seth Rollins can lose to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns can say, I beat Seth Rollins. That's it. Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to see Seth with the belt again. In fact, they probably are, even though Roman said it tongue in cheek as an insult, they probably are worried if they strap him up, he's going to blow out his shoulder in 3 months. Give me a break.
You have to be. He's proven he hasn't proven otherwise, right?
Dude, Roman Reigns is Superman punches and spears and stuff. But Seth Rollins, still a lot of his offense comes from flipping, landing, doing poor guy.
Yep. We'll see what happens there. Joe Hendry, Dominic Mysterio is a match that we're going to be getting at SummerSlam, kind of out of the blue, kind of just there.
Well, I mean, they got to fill up the card. It's 2 nights, right? I'm I don't know. I forgot that happened. Yes, they will be now.
I was actually thinking about this. Looking at the card right now. If this was a one-night show, man, we have options, and man, it'd be an awesome card. But this whole 2-night thing, this whole greed is really hurting WWE.
Yeah, I guess so. It's funny when you said 2-night, all I can think of is right now is Kevin Night, because there was so much AEW to talk about. I mean, WWE, I don't know what they're going to do in some cases, but in other cases I do. Who knows really what's going to happen with Cody and Punk because of all the Sammy stuff and the weird stuff. But yeah, this card is just kind of there. I'm hoping that it's good. Oba and Brock against Hell in a Cell. Why does it not feel, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like there's any weight to it.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
It's almost, they decided that since the first one was so good, they're going to do 3. I'm it feels like everything's kind of decided with WWE. Yeah. It's very I don't know. It's very cut and dry. Ari Emanuel answers to shareholders, right? Whereas Tony and Vince have always just answered to themselves. But now WWE, there's no head of the snake in WWE now. It's a Hydra.
That's
so,
the difference.
Yeah.
Right there. You just said it. All right, let's jump to some AEW. We're going to talk some Dynamite, and then we'll talk some Redemption, I guess. Man, Kevin Knight, Darby Allin for the TNT Championship.
Yeah, so like the reason I just watched this afternoon, like you and I spoke, and I was like, actually, I haven't watched Dynamite, so I'll watch it, and then we'll go and we can talk about Dynamite, which we don't often do on the pod. But like this is where stuff gets weird. Like AEW is the company where if Darby Allin suddenly won the title and then Kevin still had his title shot on the weekend, where like you could maybe see these things happening, but I don't know. It's all very weird. And this was a good match and all, but I don't know. I can't complain about AEW because the whole, like, you never know what's going to happen. And you're always like, why do they do this way and that way? Like, it makes it all exciting. But Darby Allin's a former world champ and he's losing to Kevin Knight. And I know that Tony seems to have a big heart on for this kid, but he's winning by cheating. So I just don't get it. And what's with this Don Callis stuff? Like, I guess it's okay that Knight and Fletcher and Okada, like, they're all at each other over these belts that do matter and don't matter. Like, are we eventually going to get Fletcher and Okada for this international title? Is Pro-Okada going to start pushing each other? Is the G1 going to end? Are we going to have Takeshita back in that? Are we going to have a 3-way at All In? And then one of them wins the international title. Woo! It's like, okay. The only thing that seems to have any weight in AEW is that world title. Like everything else just seems like a bauble.
It plays second fiddle, and it feels like it. It really feels like it right now.
Yeah, like Kyle Fletcher is the international champion, right? And he was just recently the TNT champion, and he just came back. And now you've got Willow going for the world. She was just the TNT, and everybody's fucking somebody 2 belts. Tekla's 2 belts now with her thing from over there, and I'm going to be this. And like TNT champ is always taking on this guy, the world champ, and the world. It's just, I don't know. It's exciting and interesting, but in a lot of ways, it's also very odd. And it makes me not get invested, is I guess what I was trying to say. Like, I didn't for a second believe that Darby Allin was going to beat Kevin Knight. It was all about how it's going to end. And I don't for a second believe that Kevin Knight is going to beat Kenny Omega in Montreal this weekend. So it's just odd how they book sometimes.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes the inevitable result, it is what it is. But when a match can actually make me think at that moment in time that, holy shit, it might go the other direction, that's how you know you've had a good match. But I haven't felt that in a while with some of these directions in AEW. It just seems like they're building towards All In. And this is why I say, do we even need the show on Sunday? Do we even need a pay-per-view in Montreal? Well, like, what's the point of it when you're literally just building towards All In?
Well, yeah, see, maybe that's the problem. They've done a very good job this year of like letting you know what's going to happen at All In and building those stories. And now they might just be a little ahead of themselves and like, oh man, we've got 5 weeks to like tread water here. And I feel like somehow this MJF Omega match was supposed to happen in Montreal. It's called Redemption. It's in Canada, but for some reason, supposedly it was MJF saying, hey, I think I want to move this. From what I hear, it was all MJF saying, hey, I want you to do this, and I think the TNT championship should be on the line instead. Supposedly, he's getting quite involved with Tony and the booking there. Like he's becoming AEW through and through. He's tattooing it on himself, Yeah, but okay. You have your Maya Worlds versus Mercedes Moné matches where you're halfway through this match and you're like, oh my God, this might not work out the way I thought. And then the falsies and you're like right into the match and you're like, oh my God, is this Maya World chick gonna beat Mercedes Moné? That might happen with Kevin Knight and Omega. You might be in the last 10 minutes of this half-hour match, and you'll be like, oh, dude, is Kevin Knight going to beat Omega? Look, he's like dry. He's holding his stomach. He's dragging his ass. Kevin Knight's beating the shit out of him. He's going to win the match. He's going to win the title. And that's what you want, and that's what AEW gives you a lot. Man, it's such good in-ring, and they're so good at in-ring storytelling. WWE tries to do it outside the ring sometimes a lot more. And that was a problem where people were saying there's no story building. And then the sickos are like, what are you talking about? Watch the matches. It all happens in the matches. Jim Cornette's the guy who fast forwards through half the match and then says there's no storyline and with these new guys. But if you can't sell tickets beforehand, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to see Kevin Knight versus Omega. By the time the match is over and I'm like white knuckled as Kenny kicks out at 2.9, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, great. That's great. That's what makes us love AEW. But are you going to sell out this building on Kevin Knight versus Omega? I don't fucking think so, bro. Like, So, but Tony, what the hell? Tony's a millionaire. He doesn't care about that. He's not looking to make money. He's looking to make like history. So, and that's what he's doing, man. Like when you look at the AEW catalog back in, it's nobody's going to be talking about how Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight was on a Dynamite a week before a pay-per-view. So that nobody believed he was going to lose the title. When people are watching this match 5 years from now, they're not thinking that. They're like, oh, remember that wicked Kevin Knight Darby Allin match. So I can see how Tony looks at stuff, but as a promoter, I'm like, yo, that's not selling tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're in a building for the first time. This is the debut Redemption, and this leads to more questions like, do you need the pay-per-view between Forbidden Door and All In? I don't think so, to be honest.
No, maybe not. I'm sure there's a reason. Aren't they? They're getting they're counter programming All In. It's not being counter programmed this weekend, right? So
yeah, All Out.
Well, yeah. All Out. Sorry, it's being counter programmed. Yeah. All right. So. And I also, this whole pay-per-view, like we should continue through Dynamite before we get to the pay-per-view, but both of us were talking briefly before we started here that like, there's very little excitement for this pay-per-view. It almost seems like people had excitement because they were thinking about what could be happening at this pay-per-view. And as we get closer, we're like, oh, okay. But let's continue on.
Brodito take on Okada and Fletcher getting the win. Brodito, man, Bandito. I want to see more of Bandito.
Just pull the trigger on him or stop it. Like, stop having him be the ROH world champion who's losing to other champions. And I'm like, just freaking do it or don't do it. Like, get these. I don't know what's going on. If Tony's just like in a holding pattern, like get your top titles off these freaking people in ROH that have been holding these titles forever. Like, it's not impressive when Bandito's been ROH champion for 1,047 days. It's not impressive when you do it like this, Like the guy who had our title at Demand Lucha through the pandemic loves to tell people he was champion for 1,200 days. I'm like, bro, we were off for 2 years. What the hell are you talking about? This is not something to be proud about. So it's like when Bandito is a champion of a league that doesn't have that many shows, barely defends it, and loses to every other champion on the AEW roster on TV, it kind of takes the luster off of what should be a hardcore like legacy belt that people want to get their hands on. And like the women's championship. Give me a break. This forever champion thing has gone from like exciting, interesting, epic to like now it's a parody of itself. Because the same thing's happening with her. If you don't for a second think she's going to win the Owen or that she's going to win any of this stuff, or if they put her on All In against Tech League, like, she's not winning. So, because unless they're going to go, Athena 2 belts, so many 2 belts is these people.
All right. So here's the other thing I want to talk about. So this happened next. It was the whole Tekla and Willow Nightingale segment where for like a second, you're really starting to build up that Mercedes Moné Tekla match. But now it has to take a back row. It has to take the foot off the gas pedal because, well, now you got this Willow Nightingale match in the middle of it.
Yeah. And so people are so, and this is happening at Redemption here. And so people are thinking that Willow might take it because they want to go to Willow versus Monet for All In.
Which, for the record, was supposed to be the final of the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah, and like why, and it didn't happen because of this like supposed
Willow's injury.
But isn't that why that's why she vacated the TNT title? Oh, so it was a double whammy. She was out of the tournament and vacated. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that she was actually in the tournament. I thought that in my mind, she vacated beforehand and was injured. But yeah, you're right. So
but, hey, hold on. With that said, it's okay for. Anyways, I don't want to say anything. Keep going.
Like, I want to see Tekla against Monet. That's what I want to see at All In.
That's
like,
all I want at this point.
Yeah, man. I want to see I want to hear more about dumb bitches. And like Willow's great and all, but Willow, I don't know. Like she doesn't. And they obviously need to put the world title on her at some point. So maybe this is the point. She'll beat Tekla and then she'll go on to Monet. I feel like how many more times can they get her back for winning the strong open weight title? Like I feel like that she's going to get like 8 wins over her. But okay, we're finally even. But I don't know. You know what? This match was good though. This Megan Bain and Lena Cross, their new entrance was cool with them on the sides and coming in. And and Julia Hart and Sky Blue, like Julia Hart, I can't believe is now the weak link of this like threesome. I was never a huge Sky Blue fan at first, and Julia Hart was like surprising at first. And it seems to have switched. Sky Blue's really come into her own. She loves this hardcore stuff, man. She cannot wait to get bloody. And like, if you listen to, she was on, I saw a clip on Instagram or whatever of her from some podcast, and she just loves this stuff.
Yeah,
like she, blood and guts or whatever. She was the first one bloody. She couldn't wait to get bloody here. No DQ match. She loves this stuff. So I think she's going to do really well overseas when they go back there, because they have the Stardom, like women's 6-man tag team championship now, right?
Okay, but here's the thing though. It's weird. Okay, you're promoting the shit out of, hey, these are your new Stardom, multi-person champion, and they come back to North America and lose on their first
lose. Dude, Tony loves to do that shit to everybody. Like champion, like Hetrosero took the freaking loss, took the pin in the match after this, right? He's like, see, there's two other guys there, Doyle and Cage, who are so pinnable. Like, oh my God, these guys basically pin me, pay me at this point in their careers. And you had to have the CMML world champ go down. It's like Tony just kind of loves to do that shit. There's a little bit of Vince in him sometimes.
There really is. And it's funny to see, because it's like, yeah. But you want your people over.
Supposedly Julia Hart is really, really over in Stardom. They just love this little blonde-haired, blue-haired, like goth girl. And so she's going back there for like a singles run, like they have like a tournament or something coming up here. Like their version of the G1, except I think it's single elimination. I don't know. I actually don't follow that much Joshi these days, but they have like a tournament coming up, and she's in it. And it's because they were like, they were basically like, oh, we want Miss Hart to come back with sexy blonde hair girl. Thank you. We'll come back to the company.
Yes, that's exactly how it went down, just like that. But yes, let's talk about.
I feel like when you do a Japanese accent, you're not making any. I feel like almost any other accent, I feel like you go too comedic. It sounds like you're making fun of them, but like the Japanese accent is so respectful, it almost sounds like I'm being respectful as I'm doing it. I feel like I'm not making fun of these people, because this is how, very much so. I'm like, yes, like I wish I had that kind of gravitas, just asking if I could, can I have a Coke, please? Oh, very much can Coke, thank you. Like, dude, you don't know? Okay. It's like how English people can insult you and somehow it's okay. Like they can call you a silly twat,
that one,
and a cunt, and you're like, I'm like, I can't say those words, and like, God damn it, Right? I feel like, yeah. Anyways, let's go on before we get canceled.
Exactly. That's why Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, John Moxley against the DCF.
The DCF, the Dallas family. Yes. Yes. The DCF is like the demilitarized zone. It's like, oh, we got to get through the DCF. Jesus, there's only like 100 of them. Oh, yeah. So like the low tier DCF, poor Hetrosero deserves more than, but like Cage and Doyle. Are Cage and Doyle going to be the new tag team, or is it going to be after freaking, oh my God, after he loses the national title? I'm about to say, I can't believe I can't say his name right now. Who's the national champion? The Aussie, Kyle Fletcher's partner, Mark Davis. Mark Davis, when he loses his national title to Andrade this weekend, is it going to be Davis and Doyle again? Or is it going to be like the Davis Doyle Cage, like DCD in the house, CCD? Dude, they make a hell of a trios. I see them coming in and taking them trios title. Who's the trios champion? This freaking company. This freaking company.
Literally about to ask you, who are the trios champs?
Is there trios champs right now? Are they vacant?
Is it
the Ops? The Ops. Okay.
Jeez. Is it the Ops?
And they're still like trios ROH champions, right? They should have amalgamated these. When they had them all together and then separated them, I was all like, what are you doing? You need to, like, trios championships are so important in Mexico. No. There are certain factions of Japanese culture that really revere them, like back in the day of war and stuff like that in the 90s. Dude, American, if they just had like every trios championship amalgamated into one and then took it seriously, like maybe they could get this shit over. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say,
it's not the Ops.
The conglomeration are your current trios champions.
Of course. I'm okay with that. I think Roddy Strong should still have like every strap in the company. So that's all right.
You're hard on for Roddy is the best.
Dude, and ever since he's grown his mustache, I feel like he's even more powerful. So I'm like even more depressed now. I'm like, how can he's got a mustache now and you guys still aren't giving him the time? He looks so good with that, and like the glasses and the little bit of freaking gray at the sides. Like, give this man everything. What's wrong with you people? All right.
He's got the wife. Does he need any more?
He's got the wife. Dude, if he's taming her, like, give me a break.
Oh my God. AEW Redemption, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, July 26, 2026. Let's go down the card and see what is going on in this match. Tekla versus Willow Nightingale for the AEW Women's Championship is happening.
Yeah, like no idea what's really going to happen. I want Tekla to win.
You know,
Willow doesn't need a belt. She's so over.
Hutch,
But she will be very
real
over
quick.
in Montreal.
Okay, of course. Oh, big time. Real quick, AEW All In. What sells more tickets, Mercedes Moné and Willow or Mercedes Moné and Tekla?
Dude, we haven't seen Mercedes Moné and Tekla, so it's a first-time matchup, so I think that sells more tickets. We've seen Willow Moné lots of times, and sure there's story there, but stories made for dynamites and stuff like that. You know, I think this is I want to see Tekla Moné.
AEW National Championship, Andrade El Idolo versus Mark Davis.
Yeah, I think Mark Davis he's had a good little sweetheart run here, but I think it's all over for Mark Davis. I hope he gets another singles title one day. The problem I have is what does Andrade do with the national championship? Because he's saying he wants to go through all of the, dude, if Andrade could win the national title and then beat Kyle Fletcher or somebody for the international title, if he can start amalgamating some of these titles and unify them, I mean, geez, have a reason to bring back the AEW Unified Championship and then just leave it, because we do not need all these titles. I like titles as much as the next guy, but come on, it's too much.
Andrade should win this just because I feel like Andrade needs it.
And go on a unification run, right? You want to have him run through everybody and then get to the world title. So like have him beat a couple have him be Andrade 3 belts, and then he gives them all to Tony for his shot at the world title or something, you know, like option C. Give it the old Andrade Aries, Austin Andrade. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next match would be the Painmaker, Chris Jericho versus Tommaso Ciampa in a no-holds-barred match.
I'm sure Tommaso Ciampa is just like shaking in his boots at the idea that the Painmaker is coming for him. You know, this was the Painmaker is a New Japan gimmick. It's over there because it can be, because Jericho's a bit of he hasn't worked there a ton, and he came in as a mystery, and now he's got this paint on, and they love some things work in Japan that don't work here. Painmaker worked in Japan. I believed that he was coming out to beat the shit out of Naito, and that he had a different mentality, and he'd finally gotten the WWE shackles off, and he was coming, and it was like a different thing. And this just seems like this is bad comedy. Like Tommaso Ciampa, like watch for the screwdriver, for the power drill. You know what I mean? Like what is this? So I don't mean to diss these guys. I love Ciampa, and I even still love Jericho. And their last few matches haven't been bad. There's been a bit of like bad comedy in it, but yeah. I find it hard to believe that Tommaso Ciampa is in any way changed his mentality since Jericho has decided to put some black lines on his face and wear a fedora. Like Ciampa's like, oh my God, I'm so scared now.
And the jacket with spikes.
The jacket, yes, the spiky jacket. But it's like this is no holds barred, no DQ, dude. Weren't they? I saw power drills in their last match. Like they haven't done anything that hasn't been pretty hardcore since they started this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Is it just official now?
It's just official now.
So what are they going to do? Jab each other? They're going to like swerve Strickland each other, jab each other through the cheeks? Or they're just going to like run through the crowd forever? You got to think Jericho's 50, and plunder matches are easier than matches.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So he's going to be going for like big hits, big spots, walk around, walk and brawl to your next spot. You know, like I think I spoke about this before. When I have a wrestler who's injured, hey, I'm nursing this thing. What do you got for me, Jay? What do you got for me, Hutch? I'm like, well, we got some tables. I've got this thing over here. Like they're looking for spots that aren't going to involve them having to use their body or like pull off some move that they might not be able to pull off. And so, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of nonsense. And for a card that's probably going to be a lot of nonsense, because like they're even starting early, right? They've upped it an hour.
They have to.
Buy-in starts at 6. It starts, yeah, it's
because
Sunday night, and they go forever with these pay-per-views. So somebody finally said to Tony.
The Metro has a hard close in Montreal.
There you go, man. Thank you, Matt. Saving everybody like staying up, falling asleep during Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight and having to get up for work. But I think they're going to exhaust a lot of big spots and hardcore stuff early, because I don't think this is, maybe Jericho's pull might have this higher up in the card, but I feel like this is going to be second match of the night, and they're going to probably run through a lot of bullshit.
Yep. AEW International Championship. Everyone is banned from ringside. Kyle Fletcher versus Bandito.
This is sacred unless Bandito wins the belt and we get it out of the vortex of the Don Callis vortex. But then you've got Bandito 2 belts. So I don't know. This whole thing just makes me sick. ROH champion should be going over.
I know.
Or Kyle Fletcher should be the new ROH champ. Like this, he should not just be like walking around with this goddamn belt that has such a legacy to it. Like it's like, oh yeah, it's in my bag here. Or should we be fighting for this one? No. My international title is way more important than your ROH World Championship. It's like, well, okay, fuck. You know, sorry.
I feel like Kyle Fletcher, ever since he got back from injury, he's kind of lost a little luster.
Dude, it's like Doomsday killing Superman. And like they say basically when Doomsday died the first time, because he died at the same time as Superman, right? They like punched each other to death. But that's what he was beatable after that because he knew what pain was. He knew what death was. So like Kyle Fletcher has had like a major injury. He knows what it's like now. He can't go as hard. Every time you blow your knee out, you're a little more worried about your knee. There's no way around it.
Blood.
Yes.
All right.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
What's that from originally?
It's like dodgeball.
Yeah. Fuck. For some reason. Anyways, AEW World Tag Team Championship. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac.
Wait. Yeah. Sorry. In my head, I was thinking like, wait, aren't the dogs taking them on? But no, that's a whole nother match. They've got like a chain match now against like Jay White and Juice Robinson, don't they? Man, there's a lot of matches here. I got confused for a minute. I was about to call you out and be like, no, they're taking on the dogs in a chain match, aren't they? But no, you're right. It's going to be the Bucks. And I think Bucks need to win here because Bucks are going to take on... Oh, wait, no, that's another tag match.
That's another match.
Oh, my God. I'm so confused. Yes, okay, so...
Cage Cope versus Death Riders.
Okay, that's right. So this will be fun. I love Pac and I love Claudio, and I think they're a great tag team. This is great. But I think it's going to be Cage and Cope. But this will probably be one of the more fun matches of the night. I've been enjoying this Cage and Cope run. Like the fact that Cope is like a good guy and Cage is not. Like I just love it. It's great.
All right, now it's a tag team match. The Death Riders, Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah, see, because in my head, when you said Death Riders, that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, Death Riders. So the two Death Rider teams as well. But yeah, I think the Bucks need to win this match because they're going to take on Cage and Cope, I think, at All In.
And I have a feeling it's going to be a 3-way. In fact, Yorkie has his the whole thing. Hold on, let me bring it up.
He thinks it's going to be like New Day or Machine Guns or something.
He thinks it'll be New Day. This is what he messaged me. Let me bring this up. He says, I have a theory. Then I'm like, an Austin theory. You like that?
Yes.
So then he says, so Redemption comes and goes, and the winners of the 2 tag matches are ENC and the Bucks. Those two are in the ring proposing a match against each other for All In. And then Tony's favorite trope happens, and the lights go out, and out comes Creed and Kofi, triple threat for All In.
Yeah, I was going to say, who do you think's going to debut at this show? We'll get into it maybe in a little bit, but yeah, that could definitely happen. And that's what I'm talking about, selling tickets. The whole them showing up at All In, like, oh my God, they're here at All In is great and all, but you want to sell tickets. And by selling tickets, it's Austin Creed and Kofi, the new wave, the something, whatever they're going to be called, they're here. And yeah, you want to build up that through a 3-way. But you're going to have guys who are going to say, hey, it's like 2 WWE teams against the Bucks. Like, oh, man.
Just watch him show up on TNA tonight. I'm joking, by the way, but
no. Who could show up on TNA tonight? I mean, I think there are certainly people. I think Sam Shaw is
Black.
TNA bound for sure. Sam Shaw for darn sure.
Yeah, Malachi Black.
Yeah, maybe. Because we'll get into that in a second. We'll get into all the people.
Okay.
But, well, there was another tag match though. What was the one I first got confused with? The chain match. No, there's a double chain match now.
No, there isn't. Yes, there is. But
yeah, that's why I got confused.
Let me go down the list.
So Jay White and Juice Robinson, who are a great tag team. What?
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Am I wrong? Am I jumping ahead on your list?
You haven't lost it yet. So this is the match. Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and Juice Robinson versus the Dogs, David Finlay and Clark Connors, in a double chain tag team match.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Why did I say Death Riders again or something? I just didn't say Bang Bang Gang. Okay.
It's all good.
So yeah, dude, three tag matches. And like we're like, and I'm talking about how America needs to get over a trios title. Like they really need to get over a trios title because Tony obviously loves tag wrestling, and tag wrestling done right is like super freaking exciting. And trios tag wrestling done right is super exciting. So I just wish they could get that division going on because it's never gonna happen in WWE. AEW is our savior. They're our Obi-Wan Kenobi for this kind of a division, and it ain't happening. And they got two of them in the company, and they can't even get this division going on. It's crazy.
Can't even make it like one of them right.
Yeah, dude, like at least put it on ROH. Like at least make ROH like women's wrestling and trios wrestling. Like give them something down there to make them unique. Anyways, I think you're looking at Jay White and Juice going over. They got to go over. You can't shit on Jay White soon after his comeback, right? This guy, if you don't get into the main event scene, it's going to be all over for him. You're never going to see Jay White AEW champion if we don't get this going on.
Agreed. 6-way ladder match to determine the number one contender for the international championship, because that's a thing.
I completely forgot about that match. I don't even think
Jack Perry versus the Beast Mortos versus Commander versus Speedball Mike Bailey versus Nick Wayne. Haven't seen him in a while. Versus El Clon.
Wow, El Clon. So wait, and this is who? And the winner gets a shot at the TNT Championship?
No, not even the international championship.
International. Okay. I want to say I don't know. I don't care. Okay. I mean, they should be putting over Beast Mortos. Speedball, if it was TNT Championship. I don't know. I don't care. This is going to be on the pre-show buy-in with the Rougeau family dynasty bullshit that if you're live there watching it, I feel bad for you because fucking Rougeau is such a schmuck. You know, last year in Vegas, we brought him down for our like booth at WrestleCon.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, some of the shit it's like, you know how I'm an idiot and this is shit I talk without thinking all the time. And I say like weirdly skirting the line of like sexism and racism, all kinds of stuff. But this guy does not skirt any lines. Like he was an embarrassing human being to be around. So
apparently,
yeah, looking forward to the Rougeau family dynasty like buy-in. That'll be fun.
Apparently Coco Beware's the same. He's like has no line.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with Coco having no line. The guy shows up with like a stuffed bird, like sewn to a hat that he wears around. He can, he can do whatever he wants.
AEW TBS Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Maya World.
Like is this when they're going to crown Maya World out of nowhere and it's a surprise? Because it'll be pretty. That'll be pretty.
Then you're just cooling off. Then you're cooling off Shida for no reason.
Yeah, but are you cooling off Maya World for no reason? Or are they going to do the New Japan thing where she just almost wins and almost wins and almost wins until you finally are like, yeah, she did it?
Or people don't care anymore.
Might be a lot of that. Like, what is any of this stuff happening on the pre-show?
I don't know.
Or is this all the main card?
This is the main card.
All right. Wow. So there's going to be some cool stuff on the pre-show. I completely forgot about that ladder match, bro. Like completely.
Same here.
And like, I think there's still a fey matches we didn't mention, right? Have we mentioned?
No, there's only one match we haven't mentioned.
The main event.
That is Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight.
Like, why? Like, if it's because plans change, MJF was hurt, so we pushed up the timeline on the Omega win, and now we're gonna have Omega against Knight. And sure, maybe there'll be all the falsies in the world, and people are on the edge of their seat and like shitting in their hand and rubbing it on their face and the complete wild madness. And then, Kevin Knight didn't win, but he got that close. Like maybe, but everybody I've talked to is not. They're like, oh, okay, I guess this show, sure. Like they've lost a lot of interest in what people thought was going to be a big Kenny Omega win or something to happen with Cope and Cage and like what's happening in Montreal, and it just seems to have fizzled. Like how long until All In? Is it 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 weeks? How long?
Give me 1 sec.
It's like 4 weeks at most, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 weeks.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I guess you want to give Kenny a couple of like title defenses, but that's another reason why I like Japan. Like I feel like guys can win the title and like not defend it for a while, and then they lose in their first defense, and it seems like weirdly legitimate sometimes. It's like because they don't just let the champion fight all the time. I don't know. I hope that I eat my own words. I hope by the end of the night, I'm like, wow, that was amazing. Wow, I have so much more respect for Kevin Knight. Maybe it's Kevin Knight's redemption. Maybe he turns on the Don Callis family and is all like, I don't need you people. Speedball was right. And maybe that's why they've been leaning so hard into what a prick he's been lately. Like he's been like the most arrogant, prickish member of the Don Callis family by far. Like he's even a prick to the other members. I'm like, what? Like overly in a faction that already is like built on one-upmanship. He seems to be like the biggest prick of them all. So is he going to have his redemption or
someone needs a redemption?
It's just the point is like, there's no way in hell that it's going to be Kevin Knight against Will Ospreay at All In. So that's why it's like, what are you doing? Why are we doing this?
That's my whole fucking point.
Yeah. So like it's weird.
Right?
Like
I don't get it. And to be honest, okay, reading out the card out loud, card looks good on paper, but nothing's exciting me on this card.
Yeah, like I would like if you told me that it was going to be Pac and Claudio against Cope and Cage as like a main event of Dynamite or something, I'd be like, yo, that's a great match. And it's the match I'm probably looking forward to the most on this card, but only because I know it's going to be a fun match. There's no must-see matches here. Like even the Bang Bang Gang against the Dogs in this like Jay White's second match back, and he's already in a tag team double chain dog collar match. Like what the hell is with this company, man?
Prime to get injured again.
Yeah, and like you obviously have to have him win. You can't shit on the guy that you spend so much money on and time on and is so valuable. Like honestly, he's such a valuable name on the marquee.
That should be Austin. That should be Ace Austin in that spot.
Yeah, maybe you're right. That's another thing. I keep forgetting he's in the Bang Bang Gang. Like Tony has this amazing ability to sign people, and like he doesn't cool them off; they just disappear. It's really weird. Like WWE actively still books people and just cools them off, and you're like, okay, there's the guy I like, and he's not doing much. But like AEW actively makes you forget people exist. Here's one. The Inspiration.
They're on ROH.
Are they actively working on ROH? How often do you see them?
I see.
I don't watch ROH weekly. On the odd occasion, I'm like, oh, ROH is on, and I'll look at it. That's it.
That happens with me. Yep.
Okay, but still, like my point is, these people show up and they're just like, it's like Kaiser Soze. He's gone.
Speaking of which, this is a perfect time to talk about free agents. Those 90-day non-compete clauses are done, and there's 11 former WWE superstars officially becoming free agents. All right, let's go down the list. Let's go down the list. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Zoe Stark, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, and Joe Gacy.
Let's start with Kairi Sane. What do you think is going to go on with Kairi? She posted a teaser on her social media today, which makes me think she's going to Japan, but I feel like it could be.
I think she's going to Japan.
Yeah, but I think she's going to Japan like Stardom style, so that she's going to work at AEW. Like she could be somebody that shows up to take on anybody at any time through that Stardom connection and the CML connection. So I think you're going to see Kairi Sane on AEW TV before year's end, but as a member of the Stardom roster, personally.
Okay. Motor City Machine Guns.
I think it's a slam dunk. They're going to AEW for a while. This really shocked me because when they first, like another time that Demand Lucha gets me inside information. Like when they last came to Demand Lucha, it was their last indie booking before going to WWE. And this was originally supposed to be like a trainer situation. Like Sabin was brought in as a trainer. Shelley was TNA champion for a while, like just at the cusp of WWE coming in and buying it. And negotiations were for these guys to come in and be full on trainers. And it was, I can't remember the reason, but there was a reason where they were like, oh, they put them on TV because they needed XYZ. So the fact that they're gone and not there as trainers now is very interesting. And this is another situation where friends, we've already seen them on AEW TV once, a long time ago. And they're friends with a lot of people there. So I think it's very, very much going to be AEW. The question is when.
Yeah.
Dynamite's in Detroit. Is it next week?
Yep. Literally next week.
So I think you might be seeing Motor City Machine Guns. And as much as everybody's putting over New Day, it's the Machine Guns that are going to be their debut who can actually throw out challenges like, hey, we want a shot at this. Or maybe some team comes out, some like really good work rate team at AEW challenges them for our All In. Who knows? But I think next week we're looking at them in AEW.
All right. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, are they a package or will they go their separate ways? I have a feeling Zelina Vega is going to AEW. I don't know why.
Yeah, like they could come back. I mean, look at Andrade, right? Time heals wounds. Tony Khan's a human being. He's the kind of guy you can talk to. They could very well go back to AEW. I don't see him as an MLW or a TNA guy. I just don't think they would rather go retire with their money than deal with like dinky shit. I don't think they're dinky shit people.
No. Hijo del Fantasma, Santos Escobar.
I don't know if CMML is going to want to touch him. If it's for the reputation of the family and who he is, maybe, former Rey de Reyes, like losing his mask, like people know who he is. But I think there's some issues with this guy. CMML, if anywhere, but he could be a TNA guy, could be an MLW guy. This is like right up Court Bauer's alley, this guy. So
Zoe Stark. Yeah,
Zoe Serrano. She's been teasing a return, so she's going somewhere. I think she might be just doing indies because I've seen her on a few posters for some indies. She might like forego a contract for a while, just try and hit the indies for a bit. Because what was she doing before WWE? Is she like an NIL? Like how was WWE her first experience?
No.
Was she going with Serrano before? She was an indie wrestler?
I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing Zoe Serrano on a few indie posters. So she's taking indie bookings, which means I don't think she at least doesn't have a rock solid contract with anybody yet. So
Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy.
I wouldn't be surprised if you never see the guy again.
Agreed.
Same thing with Eric Rowan. I think just because he doesn't need to wrestle, probably doesn't want to wrestle. He probably only went into.
We kind of know what she's doing.
Well, yeah, she has a new name now too, right?
Yeah.
What's she using?
I forget.
I remember thinking it was like weirdly okay. It suited her, but it was lame. It was like, it was Nikki Storm. So just something that a lot of people use. Tony Storm, Lance Storm, freaking Devin Storm, Storm. But yeah, who knows? She could go anywhere. British Indies, NWA. She would do well anywhere that she shows up. So who knows?
Yeah, exactly. She's good wherever she goes. Not worried about her at all. Dexter Loomis, TNA probably.
Yeah, Sam Shaw and TNA is all the way. And they've got, what's her name there? Indy Hartwell's there too, right? So,
yep.
Joe Gacy coming out as Joe Sawyer now, and he's going to be on GCW. They've already announced him for a few GCW dates. So you got that going on.
And Eric Rowan.
Has he been announced for those dates?
No, I'm just saying, and Eric Rowan. Like,
oh, yeah, I don't think Rowan's going to do much. I think he took this WWE contract because they asked him. They were like, hey, we're going to do this thing. We want you to be part of the Wide Six. He's probably like, okay. But I don't think he was looking to get a contract, or else he probably would have signed with AEW. I'm sure Tony like wagged it in front of him for a while after Brody's death, after he came in and did that shit. I mean, like, what's another contract to Tony? Like, you're giving a guy like, hey, I'll give you $450. I'll give you $400,000 a year. Come in, do a couple matches. Like once, you'll probably do 6 matches a year if you're lucky. Like, who turns that shit down? He probably, he probably turned it down because he literally just doesn't. He was like, whatever, I don't need it. I got other things to do. So,
yeah, there you go. That's the list. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
No, well, okay. They did announce tryouts. Like, speaking of a list of people, they announced tryouts for SummerSlam weekend in Minnesota. And dude, the guy who just took over in MLW for Bishop Dyer, Josh Bishop, they traded Bishop for Bishop and he took over his spot as tag team champion with Donovan Dijak. He's on the list here for tryouts for SummerSlam weekend. Have you seen this list?
Josh Bishop, Titus Alexander.
There's some good people on this list.
A-Rod and Conan Lycan.
Now, Conan Lycan, I have been seeing on MLW lately. And what they basically did with him is they did recent TV tapings and they had him like do like 4 matches so that every episode had a Conan Lycan match on it where he like squash guys. And they have him like doing like kickboxer stuff. So he's like out in a field with Satoshi Kojima, who's his like master. And he's like he's like giving lariats to like trees, just like freaking kickboxer with the kicking the tree down. He's just like, and he's like, again. And he's just like giving lariats to the tree. And so he's like putting guys away in MLW with these like huge lariats. And I think, man, he would do well in WWE, but I kind of like what they're doing with him in MLW right now. They're spotlighting.
I think the name that stands out the most from this for WWE is J-Rod.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like he was an American guy. That's American Gladiators for her, right?
She.
Yeah. I said when I changed it, right? Okay. But that's American Gladiators, yeah. So
yeah.
They love that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So there we go. Crazy week, crazy busy week.
But a guy like Titus Alexander, who gets a tryout and then doesn't get picked up and goes back to the Indies, and everybody knows that you didn't get picked up by WWE. Like it's a little weird. But I see Josh Bishop being somebody that they might have interest in because he like that kid. I kind of like the way he works in the ring. He looks big. He's tall, but he also has
like their style.
He's got shoulders and he's got that like,
look.
Yeah, man, that Sid Vicious type look where he's like just V-shaped and like big, you know?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff happening.
Absolutely. That was the week that was and the week that will be in pro wrestling. I guess next week we're going to be talking about whatever happens on Redemption. So we're all in. We're going to be previewing SummerSlam both nights. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
A lot to do over the next couple of weeks. Hutch?
It's weird that like we just went over this AEW card that has so many matches and they got 2 nights of SummerSlam and I feel like I could barely count the matches on 2 hands. It's weird.
Yeah, there's a few now. Where can we find your wonderful work?
Check me out at Hutch Henry's on the U of Tubes. And been doing all kinds of different interesting stuff lately. Check out Demand Lucha. We got some new stuff coming out. Like some older shows are just getting put together and put out there. Here, I'll put this out there. It's about a week early, but maybe I'll tell you about it next week. We might have a new sponsor for Hutch Henry's content, and we'll let you know about that. It'll be a fun you'll be able to get some merchandise for these people. So
very cool. There you go. aplusproductions.com, where you can find all the information about this show and download the latest shows and whatnot. Or you can go to your favorite podcasting app and search for A Plus Wrestling or A Plus Productions. We want to hear from you. Facebook.com and search for A Plus Productions. Thank you so much for listening. And on behalf of Hutch and the entire A Plus Productions crew, I am Boris Robert Regular, and thank you for listening. And also, stay tranquilo.